Tea Time with Shebrews Royalty features remedies for inner healing and outer beauty. Real-time conversations with sisters in the Hebrew Israelite community, focused on healing our spirit, mind, and body, which will contribute to the healing of our nation as a whole. Sip a cup of tea, wear your favorite turban, tee, or tunic, and enjoy Tea Time with Shebrews Royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. Shebrews royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. Shebrews royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. Shebrews royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit.
Shalom, shalom, sisters. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Ahab Karad. Shalom, sis. Shalom. Shalom. Come on in. How are you, Sister Ahab Karad? How are you? How are you? So good to see you. Good to see you. Come on in with your beautiful royal selves. Come on in. Oh, Thawada, sis. All praises to the Most High. Thawada. Thank you so much. All praises to the Most High. Come on in. Please do me a favor, sisters. When you come in, hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't already done so. Please come in and call someone up. Let them know that we are live. Let them know we are already live. And if they're not here, they're going to miss out tonight. This show tonight is going to be very, very eye-opening, right? So call some folks up and let them know that we are going to be going in tonight, because there's just so much information that I need to share with you all tonight. So no one wants to miss this show tonight. Let us get this royal tea party started, right? So before going any further, let's give a huge shout out, a big praise to the Almighty. AHAYAH, ASHAR, AHAYAH. I am that I am, the God of the Hebrews and the Shebrews, in the name of his Son, YASHAYA HaMashiach, whom the world calls Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit, Rawach Qadash. Shalom, sis. Shalom, Sister Simone. Good to see you. Good to see you. Shalom. I am your hostess, YASHAYA, and I humbly thank you for joining me on this broadcast today. So talk to me, sisters. How have you been? Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Sunday. How was your week? I pray that you had a productive week. I pray that you had an amazing week, a restful week, everything good, and most importantly, a very, very blessed week. So it is so good to be back. Praise the Most High that we are back. Another Sunday, another first day of the week. So we surely have a lot to give praises for, right? We really do. We really do. I know quite a few people did not make it to see this day, right? So we cannot take this lightly. Every single day that we get up, no matter how rough the day may be, if we're still here and we still have the ability to praise our God, it's a blessed day. So it is so good to see you all. Talk to me. How was your week? How was your week? Give me a thumbs up if you had a beautiful week. Sister Habkarat says, Khan, I do feel so blessed. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are children of the Most High God. I mean, how much more blessed can you get? Oh my gosh. So yes, it is so good to see you all. So good to see you all. Oh, Sister Simone says, good to see you too, sis. You look beautiful and the colors you're wearing are gorgeous. Oh, Thawada says, Thawada, all praises to the Most High. Thawada, thank you so much. Before moving forward in this discussion, let's get these disclaimers out of the way so we can jump right in, because we have a show tonight that's just so packed with information. And so let's get all this stuff out of the way so we can get into the meat and potatoes of the show tonight, right? And we're not talking about fake meat and potatoes, okay? We're talking about the real deal. All right. So let me start by saying tea time with Shebrew royalty is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And we get it. It's okay. But if you happen upon this channel and you realize that, we're just not your cup of tea because you don't agree with our beliefs or our lifestyle, that's okay too. I encourage you to continue to search YouTube, and I am sure that you will find your perfect cup of tea and your perfect flavor. You owe that to yourself, right? What I do ask is that you not leave any derogatory statements or comments in the comment box, because that would be distasteful. We would really appreciate that, and we thank you in advance. Also, although I am a licensed physician assistant and certified functional nutrition informed professional, and I will be touching on topics of health and wellness on my broadcasts, we will not be utilizing this platform to diagnose or treat anyone's illnesses. If you are experiencing any medical problems, please consult your healthcare practitioner. And the views that you will hear on this channel are the views of myself or my guests, and not those of any particular church or organization. The information provided on this channel is for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. The content shared here, including videos, guides, and resources, reflects general wellness knowledge and personal experiences and should not be used as a substitute for professional medical diagnosis, treatment, or advice. Always seek the guidance of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition, diet, or wellness program. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have seen or heard on this channel. Some videos and materials may feature foods, such as tonight, herbal teas, nutritional supplements, and skin or hair products offered through Shebrews Royalty LLC. These products are not evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Results may vary, and individuals with allergies, underlying health conditions, or who are pregnant or nursing should consult a qualified health professional before using any product or adopting any wellness recommendation shared on this platform or the Shebrews Royalty LLC website. By watching this channel, you acknowledge and agree that you do so at your own risk. The creators, guests, and affiliates of this channel are not liable for any injury, loss, or damage allegedly arising from any information, suggestions, or practices shared here. That being said, let's talk about ShebrewRoyalty.com. Let us talk about ShebrewRoyalty.com. And I am going to take you to a particular link here on ShebrewRoyalty.com tonight. And here we go. This is our official website, ShebrewRoyalty.com. And what link am I taking us to tonight? I am taking you to the Shebrews Royalties link. Why? Because the tea that I am featuring tonight happens to be one of our blends. As a matter of fact, let's go here. Let us go here to the royalties menu. Here we go. And tonight's tea that I am featuring, and I'm jumping ahead of myself because normally I will, just take you to the website first and then talk about what's my tea of the night. But since we're here on the website already, I'll just jump straight to it, and we'll talk about the Shebrew Royal Tea. This is our signature tea, right? So let's talk about this. I'll go a little bit deeper in depth, but I just want to show you what's on the website here. And Shebrew Royal Tea, and it says here, fit for a queen, rooted in wisdom. And the purpose of this tea, it's an all organic, loose leaf tea blend designed to nourish the body, elevate the spirit, and support the essence of divine womanhood. Ideal for daily tea time, self-care ceremonies, or quiet moments of reflection. And what are some of the key benefits? Hormonal balance and womb support, heart health, inner calm and emotional harmony, skin radiance, and gentle detox. And here are the ingredients. And later I'm going to go into each ingredient and what each ingredient brings to the table, right? So there's rose petals, there's raspberry leaves, there's chamomile, holy basil or tulsi, orange peel, hibiscus, red clover, and shatavari root. So this tea is so nutritious, and it is so good for feminine health, for womb care, right? So this is the tea that I am featuring tonight. Here it is. It's red. It is delicious. Super, super delicious. But I wanted to bring you all to this page specifically tonight, just because, like I said, we're going to be talking about teas later in the show as well. So you'll want to remember that Shebrew Royalty has royalties here. And you know what? Let me just scroll through some of the other teas. We have the Shebrew Royalty, which is at the top of the page here. We have the Hebrew Royalty. We have the femininity, the masculinity, the sacred calm herbal tea, and Shebrew's strength tonic tea. And we also have under other favorites, the sorrel royal tea bag. So come over to ShebrewRoyalty.com whenever you're ready to purchase some tea. This is the place where you want to come to, right? We'll talk about all of the other stuff another day. Just visit this website, ShebrewRoyalty.com, to see all of the products, all organic products, everything that you will find on ShebrewRoyalty.com, all natural, all organic. So that's what sets us apart from so many of the companies out there. If you want real stuff, real ingredients, real tea, real skincare products, this is the place to shop. All right, enough said about that. Let us keep it moving because we have a lot. Like I said, we have a multitude of things to go over tonight. So, sisters, now that you know what my cup of tea is, talk to me. What is your cup of tea tonight? Talk to me. Who is here? Who came in while I was talking tea? Let's see. What that is coconut water 3. Shalom. Coconut water 3. Please tell me who you are and welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Shalom. Sister Kita, hello, hello, shalom. I'm listening, but multitasking, so probably won't reply. No problem at all. The water for tuning in. Sister Lillian is here. Natalia, you are coconut water. I thought so, but I didn't want to assume. Shalom, sis. Welcome. Good to see you. So good to have you here tonight. So talk to me, sisters. What is your cup of tea tonight? What are you sipping on? Are you sipping on maybe not some tea, but maybe some coconut water? How about that? Coconut water? Are you having some juice? What are we having tonight? Talk to me. I would like to know what is your cup of tea, but whatever it is, I'm quite sure whatever it is that you're sipping on, it's something good, it's something tasty, and I'm sure it is something healthy. Sister Habkarat says, I'm just having some good old water tonight. That's what I'm talking about, sis. That is what I'm talking about. Stay hydrated. This is the topic that we really need to talk. This is a topic that we really need to talk about. Sister Natalia said just water. Okay, yes, water rules tonight. Water is ruling tonight. Well, I'm having water as well, just with some tea leaves steeped in it, right? But I am telling you, this tea is super delicious. So whenever you get ready to buy some tea, head over to ShebrewRoyalty.com. So, all right. So now that we know what you all are sipping on out there, let me talk a little bit about the ingredients in my Shebrew Royalty. So let's talk about the rose petals. Rose petals is really good for heart health. It promotes, it's what they call a heart opener. It promotes self-love, and it's also, roses are, we well know, for beauty, right? Every product, just about every beauty product, there's rose petals in there. Sister Simone says, some of my fave teas are ginger, peppermint, peach, green tea, other types. However, I just ate dinner, so I'm not having tea right now. Perfect. But the ginger, the peppermint, I have my teas with spearmint. Oh my goodness, check out my teas, Sister Simone. Then there's raspberry leaf, which is a womb tonic. It supports the reproductive system. Chamomile, as we know, calms the nervous system and soothes inflammation. Holy basil or tulsi, it's an adaptogen for stress relief and mental clarity. Orange peel uplifts the mood, aids in digestion, and adds a bright note to the tea. Hibiscus, rich in antioxidants, support blood and heart health. Red clover supports hormonal balance and skin health. And shatavari root, which is a rejuvenated Ayurvedic herb for female vitality. So this, like I said, this tea is so excellent for women's health. All right. That being said, once again, hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, sisters. Sister Simone said, I will certainly look into purchasing one of your teas, sis. So what is this? All praises. I'm sure that you will not be disappointed. I love these teas. I really do. And I'm not just saying that because they're my blends. I'm saying that because they really are not only delicious, they're healthy, all organic, once again, and they have a purpose for nutritional support. So great news, sisters, great news. Our Instagram page is almost ready. It's almost ready. I actually stepped out. I am not building this page myself, but my granddaughter, who is now, she is doing social media marketing and so on. She is now on board with me, helping me out with my Instagram page. So we are about to have a social media presence, more than likely starting tomorrow, but I will keep you all posted, right? It is at Shebrews Royalty LLC. At Shebrews Royalty LLC. So if you're on Instagram, check us out. Like I said, we're just starting. So it's not going to be flourishing just yet, but jump on there, say hi, let me know, friend us. I guess, I don't know, is that what it's called on Instagram? Are we going to be friends? Followers? Something like that. But I've been out of the social media realm for so long that I can't even remember some of the lingo. So bear with me, sisters. But that being said, we are going to be on Instagram. All right. So our show last week was about product recalls. We explored the world of recalls, specifically food recalls and skincare and cosmetic product recalls. What causes them, how they happen, and what you as a consumer can do when one affects a product you use. So what was your main takeaway from the show last week? You all want to share anything? Drop a comment in the comment box. What was your main takeaway about the product recalls? Sister Simone says, sis, it's fantastic that your granddaughter is involved with your marketing. Yes, I think it really is fantastic because she loves doing that kind of stuff, and she took a course, and so yeah, she gets to be my social media manager. I am excited. I'm excited for her. I'm excited for me. We get to do some things together. So this is pretty exciting. Tawada, thank you so much. So anyone have any main takeaways from last week's show about the product recalls? Talk to me. If not, well, guess what? Without further ado, it's showtime, and not at the Apollo, but right here at Tea Time with Shebrews Royalty. So for those of you that may just be tuning in or joining us for the first time, shalom and welcome back to Tea Time with Shebrews Royalty, or welcome to Tea Time with Shebrews Royalty if you're here for the first time, where ancient wisdom flows into modern wellness. I'm your hostess, Kwala Yakaka. And tonight, I am telling you, we have a very interesting show for you tonight, a very interesting show. Before we get into facts and ingredients, I want to begin with a moment of awareness, right? Because this conversation is not just about food. It's not. Sister Simone says, in business, we need a good support system. Khan says, I agree. Yes, we do need that. So, like I said, this conversation is not just about food. It is about remembering what the body was originally designed to receive. We live in a time when many foods have been altered, stretched, diluted, or replaced, so much so that people can eat an entire meal and never actually consume real food. Can you imagine that? Eating an entire meal and not consume 1 ounce of real food. And most don't even realize it, but the body does. Even if you don't realize that the food that you're eating is not real food, your body knows that. The body remembers what is real. The spirit remembers what is real. And even if the mind has been conditioned to accept substitutes, something deep inside still knows the difference. And that is why when you're eating these fake foods, you get sick. You just don't feel well. You're sluggish. You're tired all the time. And you say, well, yeah, I'm eating my meals. I'm eating 3 meals a day. I'm snacking. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But I still don't feel so good. Well, guess what? Your body is telling you something, right? It's telling you it is not getting proper nutrition. So really need to look into that. Sister Adana says that is sad. Khan says, so even in scriptures, we know that the scriptures tell us that the body is the temple. And that means what we eat is not just fuel, it's a relationship. When we feed the body real nourishment, we are cooperating with creation. When we unknowingly consume counterfeits, the body struggles because it cannot thrive on imitation. It's not meant to. It is not meant to thrive on imitation food. It just won't. So this is not about fear. This is not about restriction. This is all about awareness. What tea is good for headaches? I get headaches a lot, even though I drink plenty of water. Let's talk about that outside of here, because I would want to know more about your headaches, because it depends on what the cause of the headaches is, sis. So I just don't want to throw a tea out there at you. I really would like to talk to you and get more information about the headaches, when they're occurring, and so on and so forth. And just get a little bit more information, and then I can make some suggestions. All right. So yeah, let's talk about that outside of here. So because once we become aware, our choices naturally begin to shift. We return not forward, but back to what was always good. You're welcome, sis. I am the bar. Always living, always pure from the beginning. We have to get back to that. That is the goal. This is why I'm bringing out this information tonight, so that we can be aware of, if there's any foods out there that we possibly thought were real food, and we find out tonight, guess what? That really isn't food. So this episode is an invitation to look a little deeper at some of the everyday foods that appear wholesome, but are no longer what they once were. I mean, back in the day, foods that our grandparents and great-grandparents would have recognized as pure, but that today have been altered quietly and behind the scenes, because nobody is coming on a broadcast and saying, hey, guess what, guys? We're changing your corn into something else. We're doing this with your meats. They're not doing that. They're not screaming at us and letting us know this is what's going on. So those of us who know these things, it's because we are doing the research. We are taking time to really research what we're eating, and not just going blindly anymore to the grocery store or to the restaurants, and not thinking about what is really on this plate that I am about to consume and put into my temple. Some of these changes that are being made are about profit. Some are about convenience. Some are about control. Yes, control. Absolutely. but all of them distance us from the original design, correct? Shalom, sis. Sister Donna. Shalom, sis. Welcome. As you listen, notice what resonates in your body. That I knew something was off, but couldn't name it kind of feeling. You know, you eat something and you just start not feeling really good. Your stomach may start, you may have bloating or, nausea, or just don't feel good. You just feel sluggish, like I mentioned earlier. But you ate a full meal. You ate a meal and you expect to have all this energy, but yet I just don't feel good. That is the inner wisdom, remembering what is true, right? Because your body knows what it's supposed to have. That's the way the Most High created us, created our bodies. Our bodies are so magnificent, so magnificent. It talks to us all the time. It is constantly talking to us. Sometimes it's subtle. And when we ignore it, that's when the body starts to really scream at us and say, hey, listen to me. I'm trying to let you know that I am not well. Start listening to your body, preferably, when it's just whispering, so you can catch these things early on. So let's begin with one of the most commonly, listen to this. This is one of the most commonly substituted foods. It's a biblical oil. Can anyone tell me what this is? It's a sacred oil that most people have never tasted in its real form. Talk to me. Who can tell me what this oil may be? Someone drop it in the comment box. What oil are we talking about? This oil is one of the most commonly substituted foods. It's a biblical oil, a sacred oil that most people have never tasted in its real form. Oil says for many people, olive oil is a symbol of health, olive oil, and rightfully so. In its pure form, it is anti-inflammatory, it is rich in antioxidants, and deeply nourishing to the heart, hormones, and the nervous system. Olive oil. It's olive oil, sis. It is one of the oldest healing oils on earth and was used for both food and anointing, even in the scriptures. There's scriptures in that Bible about olive oil. But today, much of what is sold as extra virgin olive oil is not pure olive oil anymore. Would you believe that? How many of us are going shopping and we see extra virgin olive oil on the label and we go, yeah, that's what I want. So most commercial bottles on grocery shelves are blended with cheaper seed oils like soybean, canola, or sunflower. Then not only are they blended with these cheap oils, they're deodorized and tinted to look like olive oil. Would you believe that? The energy that these people put into making fake food for us. I mean, don't they put a lot of energy into this? A lot of time, a lot of energy to fake us out. Sister Simone says, ooh, that's interesting. It's olive oil. I should have known, as I love olive oil. Yes, and use it for cooking, sis. Yes, so we're finding out that all olive oil are not created equal, right? Some of them are, like it says here, blended with cheaper seed oils like soybean, canola, sunflower oil. Then they are deodorized and tinted to look like olive oil. By the time it reaches the consumer, the oil has very little of the original nutrition left in it. That is really sad. This means that people think they're choosing a healthy oil, but their body is receiving an inflammatory one. Because if you are using the soybean oil, canola oil, sunflower oils, these seed oils, then now instead of this oil healing your body, it's causing inflammation. Real olive oil nourishes. The blended counterfeit works against the body. And because olive oil is historically sacred, used in temple service, healing, and covenant, its impersonation is not just nutritional, but symbolic, right? A sacred food replaced by a cheaper imitation. I'm telling you, these people are scandalous, aren't they? Why would you do that? Right? So, question, how to tell if it is real? How do you know if this is real olive oil? You may want to, take some notes or, come back to this show because there's going to be so much information that's going to be given tonight. So if you have some olive oil in your cupboard right now, this is how you tell if it is real. So real olive oil solidifies or thickens when refrigerated. It should also come in a dark glass, never plastic bottle. Dark glass. Look for the harvest date. There should be a harvest date on the bottle, not just best buy date. It must say first cold press or extra virgin. And then there are some certified seals like COOC or PDO-/PGI, means that it was independently tested for its purity. So once again, real olive oil solidifies or thickens when refrigerated, should come in a dark glass, never plastic bottle. Look for a harvest date, not just a best buy date. Must say first cold press or extra virgin, and it should have a certified seal like COOC or PDO/PGI, which means it was independently tested. So UC Davis Olive Center tested imported oils sold as extra virgin and found that over 70% of them failed the purity standards. Over 70% of them. So when you look at olive oil in your kitchen, do you know if it's truly pure or has it been blended with something your body never asked for? That's a good question, right? Is it pure or blended with canola oil, soybean oil? It is true. Olive oil is one of the most processed oil, yes, on our market, even when it says organic. We need to be careful and check the ingredients. Sis, absolutely. All right, so let's talk about fake food number 2. Fake food number 2, honey. Honey is one of the oldest healing foods on earth. Used for medicine, it's used for wound care, digestion, and immunity since ancient times. Real honey is alive with enzymes, trace minerals, and antibacterial properties that support the gut and strengthens the body's natural defenses. But most of what is sold as honey today is no longer honey in its original form. Much of the honey on the store shelves is diluted with corn syrup or rice syrup, then ultra-filtered to remove the pollen. We need the pollen. So its origin cannot be traced. When the pollen is gone, there is no proof it even came from bees. It becomes a flavored sugar product with no medicinal value. None whatsoever. So the body recognizes this difference. One soothes and restores, and the other agitates and inflames. So the real honey is going to soothe you, it's going to restore your body. The other is going to agitate and inflame your body. So how do we recognize real honey? Real honey crystallizes over time. Fake honey stays smooth and runny. Look for raw or unfiltered on the label. Raw or unfiltered on the label. Local honey is more likely to be pure. Avoid products labeled honey blend. Anything that says blend is not pure. So nationwide analysis reported by Food Safety News found that more than 75% of store-bought honey had all of the pollen removed and could not be verified as real honey. So what is it? Fake honey, fake food. We used to know our honey. It came from local hives, local land, and local flowers. So when did sweetness stop coming from the earth and start coming from factories? Right? Sweetness used to come from the earth. The honeys, the sugar canes, right? Now they concoct something in a factory and call it honey. What is fake food number 3? Fake food number 3, maple syrup. Maple syrup. So real maple syrup is a simple, natural food tapped from maple trees and gently boiled down into a rich, mineral-filled syrup. It contains manganese, zinc, and antioxidants that support immunity and blood sugar regulation far better than refined sweeteners. We're talking about maple syrup. But most maple syrups sold in grocery stores is not maple at all. Imagine that. It's a bottle of corn syrup, caramel coloring, and artificial flavor. Once again, not maple at all. A bottle of corn syrup, caramel coloring, and artificial flavor. This is why it pours differently, it tastes differently, and it feels differently in the body. Real maple syrup nourishes slowly. Imitation syrup spikes and crashes because it's just sugar. It's corn syrup. So how do you identify what real maple syrup is? How do you identify it? Well, first of all, the label must say 100% pure maple syrup. There should only be one ingredient. Real maple syrup is usually packaged in glass, not plastic. And pancake, quote unquote, pancake syrup is nearly always imitation. So make sure that the label says 100% pure maple syrup. Make sure it's only one ingredient and packaged in a glass bottle. So according to U.S. labeling regulations documented by the USDA, pancake syrup products contain no maple, zero maple, only flavored corn syrup. Imagine that. How many of us grew up thinking we were tasting maple when we were only tasting sugar with flavor in? How does the body change when it begins receiving real sweetness again? Right? I mean, growing up, you're thinking, oh yes, I have some maple syrup on my pancakes and it was flavored corn syrup. And it still is. These products are still on the market. Fake food number 4, Parmesan cheese. Parmesan cheese is fake food number 4. Parmesan is another food that has lost its integrity. in the modern supply chain. Real Parmigiano, it's called Parmigiano Reggiano, is traditional aged cheese from Italy, made slowly by hand with strict standards of quality. But what's sold pre-graded in plastic containers is often not true Parmesan at all. Many of those products contain a mixture of cheap fillers and cellulose, a powdered form of wood pulp that manufacturers use to stretch the product. Listen to that again. A powdered form of wood pulp that manufacturers use to stretch the product. So the result is people sprinkle what they think is cheese onto their food, but it's often anti-clumping agent plus a trace amount of dairy. Anti-clumping agent plus a trace amount of dairy. So real cheese is a living food. It's aged, it's fermented, and nutritionally dense. The imitation version is a food product, not true nourishment. So remember that. Next time you buy Parmesan cheese, if it's not the Parmigiano Reggiano, guess what? You're getting some cheap fillers and cellulose. So how do you identify real Parmesan? The word Parmigiano Reggiano is protected by law. Real Parmesan is usually sold in a wedge, not a shaker can. True Italian import seals means authenticity. So if it has a seal that says imported from Italy, that means that it's authentic. A federal investigation reported by the FDA found that several major brands of grated Parmesan contained up to 8 to 9% of cellulose as a filler. So when did cheese stop becoming something aged and crafted and became something manufactured and stretched? What does it mean when even flavor itself is imitated? So it's an imitation cheese flavor that's put in there. I mean, I can't believe this stuff. I mean, I can't believe how much time is spent, time, energy, and money is spent making fake food. And we're paying for it. So it's obviously very lucrative for them, but it's costly for us, especially when it comes to our health. Fake food number 5, vanilla. Real vanilla is a deeply ancestral food. It's slow grown, it's hand cured, and botanically rich. It comes from an orchid that only blooms once a year. And traditional vanilla processing is a craft that takes months. In many cultures, vanilla was once considered both a medicine and a sacred plant. But most of what is sold as vanilla today isn't vanilla at all. The majority of store-bought vanilla products are made from synthetic vanillin, which, so it's not vanilla, it's vanillin, which is often derived from wood pulp. Here we go with the wood pulp again, and petrochemicals. The flavor mimics vanilla, but the body receives none of the plant's true compounds, only the simulation of a taste. This is food that imitates memory, not nourishment. So how do you identify real vanilla? Look for pure vanilla extract. Ingredients should list vanilla beans, alcohol, and water only. That's it. Vanilla beans, alcohol, and water only. Avoid products labeled as vanilla flavor or imitation vanilla. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration confirms that imitation vanilla is legally allowed to contain 0 vanilla bean, only synthetic vanillin. Shalom, Sister Jazzy. Shalom. So yeah, 0 vanilla bean is necessary, has been legally allowed, is legally allowed in the imitation vanilla. So it doesn't even have to have a drop of real vanilla in there, just all synthetic vanillin. So when aroma becomes a chemical instead of a plant, what part of us stopped being fed? And how much of what we think we recognize is really just memory of the original? Here's fake food number 6, wasabi. How many of you have had wasabi or thought you had wasabi? Going to the Japanese restaurants and you have the sushi. There are some sushis that they still have like the vegetable sushis with the rice, and you have the avocado and the carrots and so on and so forth. And then there's always that wasabi on the side, right? And the soy, soy sauce. I don't do the soy sauce. But let's talk about the wasabi. Wasabi is a plant rooted in ancient Japanese food tradition, freshly grated at the moment of serving. Listen to that. It's freshly grated at the moment of serving. When you get your wasabi, or have gotten it in the past, did they freshly shave it right there when they were serving you? Well, this is how the Japanese traditionally serve wasabi. Freshly grated at the moment of serving to preserve its delicate medicinal compounds. How many of you knew that wasabi had medicinal compounds? Real wasabi is anti-inflammatory, naturally antimicrobial, and gentle on the body. How many of you have had wasabi? Give me a thumbs up if you've had wasabi. But across the US, almost no one has actually tasted real wasabi. Would you believe that? How many Japanese restaurants do we have here in the United States? And it says that how many people have visited these Japanese restaurants, and almost no one has actually tasted real wasabi? Well, let's talk about what have we been eating? So what is served in restaurants is usually a paste, not something that was freshly grated. It's a paste of horseradish, mustard powder, and green dye. Do you believe this stuff? So they're serving us a paste of horseradish, mustard powder, and green dye, engineered for intensity, not nourishment. The hotter kick is not authenticity, it's an imitation. So this shift replaced craft with convenience, tradition with speed, and plant medicine with flavoring. Because imagine that, wasabi in its natural form has medicinal compounds. This other stuff that is being sold out here, once again, causes inflammation. So how do you recognize real wasabi? Real wasabi is light, fresh, and mildly sweet. If you've had wasabi, or what I thought was wasabi, it was never sweet. It was so hot and it was so green. So real wasabi is light, it's fresh and mildly sweet. It is grated fresh from the root, not squeezed from a tube. The color is pale, not neon green. So according to industry estimates cited by the Washington Post, around 99% of wasabi served in the US is imitation. How do you like that? How do you like that? 99% of wasabi. So when you go into the restaurant, uh, don't even ask, can I get the real wasabi, please? Because you're more than likely not going to get real wasabi. So just eliminate it. How often do we mistake intensity for authenticity simply because we have never tasted the real thing? So all along, we're thinking we're eating wasabi and we're eating some kind of paste with green dye. Fake food number 7, truffle oil. Real truffles are rare, seasonal, and traditionally foraged, deeply aromatic and medicinal, long revered in ancient cuisines. So it seems as though, do you all notice the trend here with the majority of the foods that I've mentioned? How many of them have medicinal properties in their true form? So I'm noticing that many of these foods that are being altered in their natural state have medicinal properties. So what are you all getting from this? Why are these the ones that they're choosing to alter or to give us imitations of? It's so we don't have the medicinal properties and the benefits of the medicinal properties of these products. So, real truffles are rare, seasonal, and traditionally foraged, deeply aromatic and medicinal, long revered in ancient cuisines. Their scent comes from complex natural compounds that interact with the senses, not just a palate. But nearly all truffle oil sold today contains no truffle at all. Zero, nada, zilch. Instead, it is a neutral oil infused with a synthetic aroma compound called 2,4-dithiapentane. It sounds like something concocted in a lab, of course, a laboratory recreation of one note of truffle scent without the living complexity of the real food. So it's something that it's a neutral oil that's infused with a synthetic aroma compound just to give it the scent of the truffle without having the living complexity of the real food. So zero medicinal properties whatsoever. This is a pattern repeated across modern eating. The idea of a food, so you're having the idea that this is a food without the food itself. Without the food. You think you're having food. That's the idea that you have, but you're not really eating food. So, how to identify real truffle oil? So, look for made with real truffle in the ingredient list. Real truffle should be listed as an ingredient, not just aroma. Most restaurant truffle dishes use imitation unless specially stated. So, a culinary investigation published by the New York Times confirmed that the vast majority of commercial truffle oil contains no real truffle. None, zero, nada. When we are given the scent of truffle instead of the truffle itself, what else in our lives have been replaced by a scented imitation of something that was once real? Right? So we're just going to give you the scent of it. It sounds like we're in The Matrix. When they were sitting there, that guy was sitting there eating the meat that was not even there. It was just a figment of his imagination. So basically, we're living in the Matrix, y'all. We are really living in the Matrix. Oh boy. This is not funny, but It really is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. And I can't say this enough. So much time is spent manufacturing fake food. Okay, let's talk about fake food number 8. This one really ticked me off. It really did. So let me know if this ticks you off. Seafood mislabeling. Seafood mislabeling. Seafood is one of the most commonly mislabeled foods in the world. Mislabeled. So you're buying one thing, you think you're buying one thing and you're buying something else. So in restaurants, especially sushi bars and mid-range dining chains, the fish listed on the menu is often not the fish that arrives on the plate. Did you know that? Did you know you're ordering salmon and you may be getting something else? Isn't that interesting? How about red snapper? Red snapper is frequently replaced with tilapia. With tilapia. I don't eat tilapia, but maybe I have been eating tilapia when I order red snapper. Wild salmon is swapped for farmed salmon, then tinted pink with dye. So although it may be labeled as wild salmon, you're actually getting farmed salmon. And the whole reason why you're buying wild salmon is because you don't want farmed salmon. And I love salmon. I eat salmon probably around about three times a week, and I'm always buying wild salmon. I never buy intentionally, let me put it that way, farmed salmon. But now I'm learning that wild salmon is swapped for farmed salmon, then tinted pink with dye. I have stopped by seafood in HEBs. Yeah, I don't buy any of HEBs. I'm sorry. I don't buy any fish there. Not too many things do I buy there. So wild salmon is swapped for farmed salmon, then tinted pink with dye. Grouper, which is not a fish, I don't even know what grouper is, but it's substituted with cheaper white fish. I'm not very familiar with grouper itself, but when you order grouper or you buy grouper, it is substituted with a cheaper white fish. People pay for nourishment, but receive imitation. This is not an accident. It really isn't an accident. It's a supply chain built on the assumption that the consumer cannot tell the difference. So you're paying for the higher cost item and getting a cheap imitation with zero nutritional benefits. And this matters, right? Not just because of honesty, but because of our health. They're being dishonest, and that is costing our health. They're getting rich and we're getting sick. So how do you know what's real and what's a substitute? So wild salmon, well, first of all, let's talk about the benefits of real versus the substitute. So with wild salmon, it is rich in omega-3s. Wild fish develop nutrients from a natural diet. And the real food or the real fish, wild fish, is clean protein. Now the substitute, such as the farmed salmon, is high in inflammatory omega-6 instead of the rich omega-3s. Farmed fish are fed pellets, and they have coloring. Farmed fish have hormone disruptors and contaminants, very common in the farmed fish. Let's see. Sister Simone, you said, you said, oops for my previous typos, as it sent before I could correct. I haven't been pleased with the seafood options in HEB, as they're usually not wild caught. Yes, see, I don't buy my fish there. Any farm raised foods are bad because they. So where do you shop for most of your foods? For this reason, Trader Joe. I shop at Trader Joe, says. Have a lot of antibiotics and other harmful chemicals. Yes, and even wild caught. We need to be careful that it's not coming from areas that had oil spills or even highly polluted. Yes. Bar says, and I remember it was a few years ago where the farmed salmon, there was an infestation in the farmed salmon of tapeworms. There was an infestation, and when I heard about that, I thought, oh my gosh. That was maybe 7 years ago. It was really bad. And since then, actually before then, I wasn't eating it anyway, but when I heard that, I thought, oh my gosh, there's no way that I will eat farmed anything. I mean, what fish lives on a farm? What fish lives on a farm? Even that term alone lets you know that this is fake. Cows are raised on a farm, but a fish farm? Okay. Sister Kita says, thank you. Ayandabar says, Shalom, Sister Kuala, I'm late, but here. All praises to the Most High. Sister Phyllis, welcome. Blessings to you as well. So, and then there's another layer, the distribution. Cheaper, lower quality fish is often sent to lower income and urban neighborhoods. We know that. While higher quality cuts are routed to the wealthier areas. So food replacement becomes a quiet form of nutritional inequality, right? So how do you protect yourself? Choose wild caught and look for the origin country labeling. Ask if you're eating out, ask the restaurant if the fish is wild or farmed. An honest kitchen will answer. For sushi, traditional or Japanese-owned restaurants are more likely to use real fish. Buy whole cuts of fish when possible. They are harder to disguise. So just buy the whole fish. A nationwide study by Oceana found that about 1 in 3 seafood samples in the US were mislabeled. 1 in 3, especially at restaurants. If food is altered before it reaches our plates, how often are we digesting substitution without even realizing a substitution has taken place in the body and in life? I mean, even the restaurants, they're doing this, right? They're going out buying the cheap stuff, and then they're marketing it up, mislabeling it, and we're paying so much money we're basically killing ourselves. So My suggestion, eat at home as much as possible. We don't know what we're getting out there. We don't know what we're getting in the grocery stores at time, but we definitely, when we're going to restaurants, because what we're getting is the finished product. We don't know what it looked like before it ended up on the plate. So you have to go to this restaurant with an abundance of trust and believe in that what you are paying for is what you're really getting. What you're consuming is really what you think it is. And now that requires a lot of faith these days, sisters. This really requires a lot of faith, going out to eat. And trust. Right? So fake food number 9, fruit juice. Fruit juice. Fruit juice should be simple. The juice of real fruits, right? But most juices sold today are not fresh fruit at all. They are concentrates, stripped of fiber and nutrients. How many of you have bought orange juice and there's absolutely not one pulp in there? Not one pulp. Where's the fiber? Then blended with flavoring and filler juices like apple or pear. When a bottle shows blueberries, pomegranates, or cherries on the label, but the first ingredient listed is apple juice. So on the label, it says this is blueberry juice, this is pomegranate juice, or cherry. But when you look at the ingredients, the first ingredient that listed is apple juice. The consumer isn't receiving the fruit they think they're buying. This is not fruit. It's fruit suggestion. It's suggesting that you get this fruit. And because the fiber has been removed, the body receives the sugar without the balancing elements that nature designed to come with it. So you're just drinking a glass full of sugar water with probably some kind of dye or something to that effect. Or maybe apple juice instead of pomegranate juice. So how do you identify real juice? Real juice, you should look for cold pressed or fresh pressed. Avoid anything with from concentrate on the label. The water, Sister Phyllis, the water. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High, the water. So real dark fruits like pomegranate, blueberry, and tart cherry should be the first ingredient if that's the juice that you're supposedly buying, right? If you're buying pomegranate juice, pomegranate should be the first ingredient. So consumer testing reported by New York Times found that many blueberry drinks contained little to no blueberry, only flavored apple or grape juice. So what happens to our sense of taste when real fruit becomes a marketing image instead of a living food? Our taste buds are now off. Our entire body is being destroyed. And number 10 is really near and dear to me. Why? Because it's tea. It's tea. Tea bags. Tea was once a plant, whole leaves, flowers, roots, and herbs, steeped for healing and restoration. But many modern tea bags no longer contain the plant in its full form. So when you buy these tea bags, they contain dust, particles, and natural flavoring sprayed onto broken fragments. Would you believe that? In your tea bag, you're getting dust. And have you ever torn the tea bag apart and looked at the tea leaves that are in the bag? it is dust. It's like it's dusty. You can't find a whole flower or a whole leaf. It's just dust. So it's dust, it's particles, and natural flavoring sprayed onto broken fragments. So instead of a living infusion, many people are drinking perfume water. Imagine that. Your tea is now perfume water. Some commercial tea bags are also made with plastic microfibers that shed into hot water. Yes, these tea bags, many of them are made with plastic microfibers, meaning people believe they're choosing something gentle and wholesome, yet they're ingesting microplastics with every cup. Real herbal tea carries life, minerals, aromatics, and plant intelligence. Flavored tea carries the outline of a plant, but not the soul of it. We want the actual plant. That's the whole reason why we're drinking the tea. We want the benefits of that plant. So how do you choose real tea? Loose leaf tea is the best, and that's one of the reasons why here, well, at Shebrews Royalty LLC, all of our teas are loose leaf. You get to see the ingredients in full form. They're whole herbs, not dust. So this is how you choose real tea. Loose leaf tea is the best. Whole herbs, not dust. Avoid natural flavors in the ingredients list. You won't find that in Shebrews Royalties. You will not find anything that says natural flavors. Choose unbleached or muslin bags if using bagged tea. So researchers like McGill University found that certain plastic tea bags can release billions of microplastic particles into a single cup. Billions, not thousands, not millions, but billions in one single cup. Sister Phyllis says, yes, sis, I would rather cook at home. Yes, these restaurants are horrible. Yeah, they're getting worse. When even tea becomes imitation tea, imagine that. How can the nervous system settle into the comfort it's reaching for? Because so many times when you're grabbing a cup of tea, I know I want something that's calming. I want something that's soothing. I want something that's nutritional, medicinal. I'm usually drinking my tea for medicinal purpose, right? But if I'm getting dust and perfume with water, then what kind of medicine is that? So Shebrews Royalties must become your preferred teas, sisters. Our teas are all organic, all natural, herbal blends, and of the highest quality, and they are absolutely delicious and amazing. Have I said that? Have I said that enough? Did you get that? Delicious, amazing, right? So, sisters, if you think that those 10 foods that we just talked about was something, if you thought that was something, I have some videos that will reveal what's on the horizon when it comes to more fake foods. And I want to say, Thawada, thank you to Sister Simone, because one of these videos, the first one actually that I'm going to show, was shared with me by Sister Simone. And so I want you all to watch this video. And we're going to learn about more fake food out there. Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere. This is not a joke, sisters. This is not a joke. We have no clue what we are eating, drinking. We just don't know. But on the bright side, we are learning tonight how to identify the real versus the fake. That's the whole purpose here. So let's see. Yes. So this video is by Big Ward, the genius. Big Ward, the genius, fair use. And this video says, just when you thought you've seen it all, this happened. So just when you thought you've seen it all.
Morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Thursday, October 16th, 2025. Back with another episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank y'all for all those.
Can y'all hear it okay? Can you hear it?
And I'm not at work right now, but I'm getting ready to head to work. But I saw this little information.
Can you all hear it okay? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you're able to hear if the audio is good. Is the audio good, sisters? Was the audio good? On my end, it's a little bit low. It seems a little bit low. Okay, Sister Ada says yes. Okay, thumbs up. Awesome. All right, let's go back.
Here. And I said, you know what? I got to get this information out there. If it ain't already out there, if you don't already know, you need to know this. So I'm up this morning.
Fair use. For
getting ready for work.
purposes only.
Decided to eat some breakfast, some cookies. Yeah.
He's
some
funny.
Peanut butter cookies. Big boy. How you eating cookies for breakfast? Ain't you supposed to be eating healthy? Trying to lose weight? Get in shape? Shouldn't you be eating some eggs or something? Some eggs. Instead of peanut butter cookies. That ain't eating healthy at all, Big Ward. You leading, that's a bad example, Big Ward. You supposed to be leading the people down the right road, Big Ward. You're a bad example for the people. I'm gonna unsubscribe from your channel, Big Ward. Unsubscribe. Dr. B.O.E. Okay then, sucker. Before you unsubscribe, check this out. Just when you thought you've seen it all, just when you thought you heard it all, just like you just heard me say I'm gonna eat peanut butter cookies for breakfast, and I'm supposed to be eating healthy instead of eating some eggs or something, which is supposed to be healthier for you if you're on a diet. Eat you like 4 hard-boiled eggs or something and some oatmeal or whatever, and you on your way, you ate a good healthy breakfast. With no Big War, you on here telling your people you can eat some peanut butter cookies for breakfast. Why would you do a thing like that, Big Ward? I'm glad you asked. Because nowadays, as I said, Jeff, you thought you have seen it all. Life and the world says, hold on a minute, check this out. So I'm glad you asked, why would I be eating peanut butter cookies and be better off eating these peanut butter cookies than eating some eggs and some oatmeal? Again, just when you thought you've seen it all, along comes this.
The Consumers Association of Penang, President S.M. Muhammad Idris, says it is a bit tricky to identify the fake eggs because at a glance they look similar. He advises the public to take a closer look and to be wary of unusual shaped eggs. Idris said an email circulated in the internet had stated that fake eggs were common in China and were full of chemicals. According to the email, the shell is made of calcium carbonate, while the yolk and egg white are made of alum, gelatin, calcium chloride, and other chemicals besides water and food coloring. He says calcium chloride found in the fake eggs may cause liver diseases, while benzoic acid can be harmful to the brain and nerve cells.
When you thought you had heard it all. So now you see what I mean by this. So, does anybody want to join me for a healthy breakfast of peanut butter cookies? Shall we? Good old healthy, full of sugar, empty calories, but the real. So you eating your eggs and oatmeal for breakfast and looking down on Big War because he telling the people he finna eat some oatmeal cookie for breakfast. Now, does anybody want to join me for a healthy breakfast of oatmeal cookies instead of eggs and oatmeal? Because you didn't know that your eggs might be fake. You knew it was a little odd, a little strange, but you just happy that it came down on the price of the eggs. You know we had an egg shortage. What we gonna do about it? How they gonna fix it? They came up with a solution, huh? You eating your egg. Damn, this bitch chewy. But it need a little more salt or something. Something ain't right about this egg. And you just, yeah. But they wasn't but $1.99 a dozen. You know, gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, I don't, maybe something wrong with my tongue or something where it ain't tasting right. I gotta go to the doctor to get my tongue checked. Not once did you think that egg you eating ain't real. It's artificial. And guess where they coming from? I ain't gotta tell you where they coming from. But wait, there's more.
Now watch that. Alright. Now that looks normal to me. So now watch this. I'm about to break. Watch this. See this? This is solid. Watch this. You see that?
And then, as you eating your healthy breakfast of eggs, and I'm sitting here eating these peanut butter cookies, what we gonna have for lunch? What we gonna eat healthy for lunch and maybe dinner this evening? Since we on a diet and exercise program like me, with Big War, you might need to eat you some baked chicken and some broccoli or something like that. That'd be a good idea, Big Ward. Ain't that what I would normally say? In normal times, if I want to know what should I eat today that's going to be healthy to help me get my abs back and get in good shape and look good for the women's, not the men's. You would suggest, Big Ward, I think you should eat some baked chicken. That's good and healthy. It's been proven to be good for you. But wait, there's more.
We are back with a new lab-grown chicken that was just approved for sale in the U.S. Could be headed to your dinner plate. Devin Dwyer has the details. Good morning, Devin.
Hey, good morning, George. Americans ate 75 billion pounds of red meat and chicken last year, but what if some of that meat was not raised on farms, but instead of high-tech facilities? Scientists say that could be good for the environment and your health, and soon it could be on menus and store shelves.
Yep, just what we
This
need
morning,
for
the
our health.
USDA has approved cell-cultivated meat to be sold to the public for the first time.
So that's where it all starts, just a few cells.
2 cultivated meat producers now getting the green light to begin commercially selling their chicken, not raised on a farm, but in a facility. The meat is grown using real animal cells and large bioreactors fed with nutrients. I recently got a tour of California-based Upside Foods, the nation's first and largest cultivated meat producer.
You're making chicken in there.
Yeah, so if you look at this is approximately a 200 plus liter tank. And we take cells from a chicken or an egg. It takes 2 weeks to grow the equivalent of one chicken, 1,000 chickens, or 100,000 chickens.
So you're saying in this factory you can make more meat faster and cleaner than an average farmer?
Well, ultimately, yes.
The company says cell-cultivated meat could help feed the world's booming population using a fraction of the land and water of animal farming and help reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Many experts say more study is needed.
I got to try this cell-cultivated chicken at the facility in California, guys. I got to say the texture was a little bit different, but it did taste like chicken. The company says they hope to get it on restaurant menus in the next few weeks, then maybe on store shelves in the next 5 years, and dozens of startup companies are getting in on the game, guys.
You mentioned the texture, so is it more like tofu?
You know, George, it was pretty close to chicken, but maybe a little bit rubberier. You have to give it a try for yourself. A restaurant in California is going to roll it out next month.
Would you guys try it?
I think I would. I do like the reduction in animal cruelty, but we'll see.
The rubbery didn't sell me. I've been thinking about becoming a vegetarian.
So you might call yourself getting smart and say, you know what, Big Ward, you right. I think I ain't gonna eat no chickens, no eggs, none of that. I'm gonna stick to beef. I'm just gonna eat meat, like red meat, that good old cow. But wait, there's more.
So raising Alpha has been a lot of fun. It's been interesting to watch him grow and mature. I was here shortly after he was born, and he's been very normal, just like raising any other kind of beef, show steer, bull, anything like that. Yeah, he definitely lives up to his name. He knows that he's special, and he thinks he's a big toy right now. He tries to push you around a little big for that.
He was dead, and now he's alive. He's in front of us, and he's a breeding animal. We've got offspring out of him.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? He was dead, but he's alive now. I'm so serious. We really cannot make this stuff up. We really cannot make this stuff up. The cow was dead and now he's alive. Okay? So, yep. Shalom, Sister Chin. Shalom. Yeah, let me get back to this. But if you all didn't hear it, let me just go back here just a little bit so you can hear this again.
He lives up to his name. He knows that he's special, and he thinks he's a big toy right now. He tries to push you around a little big for that.
He was dead, and now he's alive. He's in front of us, and he's a breeding animal. We've got offspring out of him, and the gammas, the females that were cloned as well. So we've always been in search of, because we know what the final product we want it to be. We want it to be a high quality prime animal that we can't always get there, so we were able to recreate it by, I call it reverse engineering, but we found it in the slaughter plant and produced the product that we've got.
You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. That big old cow was dead. Some real life Pet Cemetery shenanigans going on, and you finna eat it. Now he's living and blowing out backs and producing other vampire cows, you know, the undead. And you just, ooh, this thing good. Ruth Chris don't be playing. Thank you, Ruth Chris. You literally eating a dead cow. I don't mean while he on your plate. He was dead when he was walking around. They resurrected him, and his name ain't Jesus. But he was raised from the dead. When you thought it couldn't get no worse. So, ladies and gentlemen, will you join me for some peanut butter cookies? And how about some Fritos on the side? I'm eating healthy. That's what I'm gonna do. I decided to eat healthy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not eating no meat, no beef, and no chicken and eggs and vegetables. Big Warbin vegetables.
Oh my goodness. Would you all believe that? Do you all believe that? What we just saw? Do you believe that? What we just saw? Let's see. Let me get caught up on what you all are saying here. Playing God with the animals. Yeah, they sure are. Let's see, where are we? What does really cloning mean? Yeah, they take the DNA from animals, from what I understand, people as well, and they go in the lab and they use this DNA, and somehow they're able to create a carbon copy of either that animal or that person in the lab. Yep. Sister Simone says, sadly, the majority of our foods are tainted or tainted with harmful chemicals that our government allows. Yes. However, in Europe, in Canada, many of the chemicals that are in the US, tainted. I will not eat meat unless I know, Sister Chin says, the farmer, and it must be an Israelite, period. I ain't playing. I'm good. I will wait to Jamaica to enjoy some jerk chicken or curry goat. Yes, sis, I have not eaten meat in so many years. It's yeah, I mean, and every day our food selection is getting smaller and smaller because of they're tainting everything. However, in Europe and Canada, many of the chemicals we use aren't allowed in the foods in those countries. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. And then I have another couple of videos for you all. So let's get these videos rolling real quick. I don't know if you all have seen this one. This one is this is a video of KFC. And this is a KFC commercial, fair use for educational purposes only, sisters. So this says, KFC, believe in the chicken. Are they telling us something? All right, so mind you, this is a KFC commercial. Check it out. Tell me what you all think about this. ever created. Does this look like it's symbolic of a baptism? Okay. Eating chicken. What did y'all get from that? What did y'all get from that creepy commercial? I saw this when I watched a doc a while back. Okay, so how many of you had seen that commercial, that KFC commercial? So they dipped the man in, it looked like oil originally, and then it turned into like a brown gravy. And KFC is part of the land of the living dead. Yeah, and they're basically promoting, from what I saw in that commercial, that's cannibalism, right? Because that was a person that went into the oil or whatever it was, came back out as a chicken, so now they're going to eat him. Cannibalism. Weird, weird, weird stuff. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And if anyone eats KFC after seeing this, I don't know what to say. The egg con is symbolic of Ishtar worship. Yeah, they put discarded human sacrifices in the food. There's a top rabbi that admits this. Yes. Yes, that is correct, sis. They've been telling us all along what's going on with our food. And it's not really food in these quote unquote fast food restaurants. Predictive programming, they are telling us what they will be doing, what they are doing, sis. Let's remember, in their secret groups, they have to tell us the evil they're doing. So we have to be so very careful what we are consuming, what we are putting in our temples. I have one last video. Let's grab this one last video. Some of it is some of the things that I've already gone over, but more great information. This is the last video. And this video is 25 most faked foods in the world. And this is by List 25. 25 most faked foods in the world. And some of it you will see we've already talked about, but there are others that we have not gone over yet. This is the last video.
If you're a foodie, you've come to the right place. In today's world, we're more connected than ever and always on the hunt for healthier choices and exciting new flavors. But guess what? What you see isn't always what you're getting. And I mean that in the worst way possible. From fake olive oil to counterfeit coffee, I'm about to expose some of the most faked foods out there. So let's get started. I'm Mike with List 25, and here are the 25 most faked foods in the world. 25. Olive oil. We all love a drizzle of olive oil on our salad, right? But that liquid gold might not be as golden as you think. Some olive oils are cut with cheaper oils like soybean or seed oil, or in the worst case scenario, it isn't even olive oil at all. If you want the real deal, look for extra virgin on the label. Skip pure or light. And the producer definitely gets bonus points for a harvest date and estate name. The more details on the label, the better your chance of getting the real deal. If you see an FFA, free fatty acidity, level listed, you might just have hit the olive oil jackpot, so to speak. 24. Honey. Despite their appearance, a shocking amount of honey on store shelves contains syrups and sugars masquerading as the real thing and offering little in the way of health benefits. Fake honey is cheaper to produce and often drives down the price of real honey too. It ends up being a snowball effect since the adulterated honey floods the market, making it even harder to find the authentic product. So, how do you sniff out the real from the fake? Well, the easiest way to test your honey's purity is to do the water test. Simply drop a bit of honey in a glass of water. If your honey is real, it'll sink to the bottom, while fake honey will dissolve or leave white traces. 23. Fish. There is a significant seafood fraud problem in the world, with companies substituting faux fish for expensive varieties like salmon and crab. Fake fish is cheaper, allowing companies to boost profits while misleading consumers. The practice is in fact so widespread that studies show that up to 75% of certain fish varieties might be mislabeled. To ensure you're getting quality seafood, scrutinize the labels for specifics like wild caught and the exact fish species. Vague labels should definitely raise concerns. Opt for whole fish or shellfish whenever possible. It's harder to substitute species this way. Remember, if a seafood deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. 22. Maple syrup. If you're a morning pancake type of person, then I think you'd agree that pancakes deserve nothing but the real deal. Unfortunately, our supermarket shelves are overflowing with imposters labeled breakfast syrup or pancake syrup, promising maple flavor but delivering nothing but sugary flavored water. How to spot the real maple syrup? It's actually super easy. Genuine maple syrup will only have one ingredient listed: maple sap. No fillers, no mystery ingredients, just pure maple goodness. 21. Truffles. Truffles. The word itself screams fancy dinner, right? In reality, most truffle-flavored foods you find on menus don't actually contain truffles at all. Real truffles are crazy expensive because they can't be grown on farms, they have a super short shelf life, and require delicate handling. Think hundreds of dollars an ounce, not a $10 pasta. So how do you avoid the fake truffle trap? Check the prices. Real truffles cost more than your phone bill. And if you're chowing down in Truffle Central, think France or Italy, there's a better chance it's real. The real thing will have a powerful, unforgettable aroma and be firm and bumpy, not smooth or spongy. 20. Scallops. Scallops are a popular seafood choice, but beware, you might not always get what you pay for. Millions of consumers are unknowingly eating imitation scallops made from cheaper fish like skate, shark, or even surimi, fish paste. And even if you're lucky enough to buy real scallops, you might be paying extra for water, since a lot of the companies add water to the meat to increase weight and profit. When shopping for them, remember that the real deal will never be perfectly round. If a scallop has one thicker side, it might be skate or stingray. Real scallops have visible grain or fibers running lengthwise and will have a consistent thickness throughout. And give them a sniff. Fresh scallops will have a mild, sweet aroma. If it smells fishy, put your wallet back in your pocket. 19. Balsamic vinegar. Balsamic vinegar can be found on tables worldwide and gets splashed on everything from fast food fries to Michelin-starred dishes. And yet, most of what you've probably tasted up to now wasn't balsamic vinegar at all. Authentic aceto balsamico tradizionale is a work of years. Good quality takes 12 years, while the very best can take 25 or more. This meticulous process explains why it's so rare and expensive. A tiny bottle can set you back 125 euros, which is around $135, and with only 8,000 liters produced annually, well, it's no wonder. Unearthing the true balsamic experience might require some detective work. Read labels carefully. Tradizionale is the golden ticket, and produced with mozzocotto is a must. Anything else is likely a blend or simply colored and flavored vinegar. 18. Coffee. Coffee fuels our mornings, but billions are lost to counterfeit beans. The massive global market, which rakes in over $495 billion annually, is full of fraudsters who serve up watered-down versions or blends with cheap substitutes like chicory root. Even big brands like Nestle and Starbucks have faced knockoffs. To spot a fake bean, you can try a simple floating test at home. Real coffee beans tend to float, while fake ones often sink. If you want to safeguard yourself, choose established coffee shops or roasters with a good reputation and look for certifications. Some coffee beans have certifications that guarantee your origin and quality. Very cheap coffee is also more likely to be fake, so the price tag is often a dead giveaway. 17. Cinnamon. We all know and love the warm, sweet spice that takes our gingerbread cookies and snickerdoodles to the next level. But when it comes to cinnamon, beware. The real thing is Ceylon cinnamon, which comes from Sri Lanka. It's delicate, sweet, and has a light brown color. Cassia cinnamon, the cheaper kind most stores sell, is stronger and reddish brown. Your choice of cinnamon matters because Cassia cinnamon comes with a compound called coumarin, which is safe in small amounts, but not ideal in large quantities. To be 100% sure that you're using the real thing, buy Ceylon cinnamon sticks and grind them yourself. If that's too much of a hassle, look for reputable brands like Nature Vibe Botanicals or Simply Organic, and rather buy real Ceylon cinnamon. 16. Black pepper. Black pepper fraud? Yeah, it's a thing, and it comes in the form of additives like flavored papaya seeds. I kid you not. To avoid the peppery predicament, you should simply grab whole peppercorns instead. It's harder to fake a whole peppercorn, so you're more likely to get the real stuff. You can also test it by giving your peppercorn a squeeze. Real ones will crack easily, releasing the telltale strong scent and leaving a slight oil residue behind. 15. Wasabi. Believe it or not, over 95% of the wasabi that gets served in restaurants is fake. The green imposter paste is usually a blend of horseradish, mustard, and food coloring, which mimics the real deal, but doesn't have its authentic flavor and kick. So that means, chances are, you've never actually tasted real wasabi. Genuine wasabi comes from the Wasabi japonica plant stem, and is grated fresh. This releases potent flavor compounds that fade quickly, making fresh wasabi a precious and pricey treat. Next time you crave a wasabi kick, consider asking for freshly grated wasabi. And if you want to be a true wasabi aficionado, it might be time to venture into the world of wasabi rhizomes. 14. Parmesan cheese. If you're a cheese connoisseur with a penchant for Parmesan, you deserve the real deal, not some pale imitation masquerading as the king of cheeses. Unfortunately, supermarket shelves overflow with Parmesan imposters, boasting similar names, but lacking the true depth of flavor. Real Parmigiano Reggiano wears its crown proudly. Look for wheels adorned with Parmigiano Reggiano and DOP markings. These tiny pin dots also reveal the cheese's birth date and a unique dairy ID, ensuring its authenticity. 13. Vanilla. Most of us are well aware that our commercially bought vanilla flavoring doesn't contain a lot of, well, vanilla. But did you know that 99% of the world's vanilla is fake? The real thing is made from vanilla beans, fancy orchid pods that require hand pollination because bees don't travel well. These precious pods, mainly from Madagascar, are steeped in alcohol, resulting in the complex flavor profile. Imitation vanilla, on the other hand, is a synthetic concoction often made from petroleum. Unfortunately, spotting the fake is tricky, and taste tests are unreliable. Imitation vanilla often packs a stronger punch, but real extract boasts a whole symphony of flavors: floral, woodsy, and even hints of oak. The fact of the matter is that the imitation usually wins when it comes to what we buy, purely because of its pricing. And it gets worse. much worse. But speaking of food, you want to know what else is good food for the soul? Liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing? I mean, it really helps the channel so we can keep making these awesome videos for you. Oh, and don't forget our socials. 12. Caviar. Researchers in Germany recently revealed that nearly 30% of caviar sold in Europe is fake. Even worse, some aren't even fish eggs. It's a mystery mix of unidentified DNA. Maybe sturgeon leftovers and who knows what else. If you're big on caviar, there are several ways you can ensure you're buying the real deal. Real caviar has a beautiful, clean appearance. The fake stuff might have a film or residue on the eggs or an excess of liquid that doesn't match the egg color. Not to mention that real caviar is a flavor explosion. Always check the ingredients before you buy. Real caviar uses sturgeon roe and salt, while fakes will come with thickeners, broths, and artificial flavors. 11. Wagyu beef. Have you ever tried Wagyu beef? The marbled meat's popularity has skyrocketed in recent years and has presented us with a growing problem: fakes. So, how do you avoid this bovine bait and switch? Look for its grading. Real Japanese Wagyu gets graded like a champion. Only the A-listers, the cuts that hit the highest marks, get crowned the true Wagyu. So if you see Wagyu on a menu or in a store, see if they mention the grading, A5 is the top, or where the beef comes from in Japan. Remember, real Wagyu is a splurge, so a cheap price tag might be telling enough. 10. Saffron. We all know saffron is a spice royalty, and with a price tag between $1,100 and $11,000 per kilo, it is easy to see why. Hand-harvested for its vibrant color and intoxicating aroma, this luxurious spice can elevate any dish. But with such value comes imposters. Luckily, unlike vanilla, spotting the pretender is easy, and it comes in the form of, you guessed it, a water test. If placed in water, real saffron will take its time and slowly release a golden hue. Any imitation will turn the water red within seconds. 9. Milk. Almond, coconut, rice, and soy. Milk has undergone a significant change in recent years. And now, yet another challenger has entered the ring. Lab-grown alternatives are shaking things up with their variations of genetically engineered yeast programmed to churn out the same proteins found in cow's milk. According to these producers, their milk is perfect since it's lactose-free, hormone-free halo, and kinder to the environment. Have any of you tried it? 8. Fruit juice. Berries, superfruits, and fancy packaging often dupe consumers looking for healthier options when it comes to what we drink. Parents might even feel smug satisfaction when giving their child apple juice instead of soda. I mean, come on, it's from fruit. Unfortunately, your juice might be fooling you. Even labels boasting 100% fruit juice can be deceiving. You see, economic adulteration is a real thing. That means your juice might be diluted with cheaper options like apple or grape juice, different berries, or even sugar water or high fructose corn syrup. So, how do you avoid the fakes? Check the label. Real fruit should be first on the list, not apple juice or sugar. Research the company, and if you're still not sure if the product you're buying is the real thing, contact a dietitian. 7. Wine. Nothing is holy in the world of fakery. Case in point, even fake wine is a booming $3 billion industry. Wine fraudsters operate in 3 ways: by creating fake labels and bottles, by adulterating cheap wine to resemble the real thing, and by running fake investment schemes. If wine is your thing, the best way to protect yourself is to scrutinize the label for printing inconsistencies. Check the bottle's shape and weight for authenticity, research labeling regulations for the specific wine, and examine the cork and capsule for signs of tampering. Ultimately, your best defense is to buy from trusted sources and do your research before parting with your hard-earned cash. 6. Oregano. Just like your olive oil, honey, saffron, and even your favorite fish, your oregano might be completely fake. Studies consistently reveal oregano bulked up with imposters like olive and even sumac leaves. In fact, a recent study in food chemistry found that 90% of tested oregano samples contained filler, with some being over 50% fake. Yikes! The good news is that researchers are getting good at sniffing out the fakers. A team at Queen's University Belfast has developed a rapid and effective method using mass spectrometry that can now detect just about any surprise ingredient in your oregano. But why fake something as common as oregano? For large-scale businesses, even a small amount of filler in huge quantities translates to big profits. Garlic, paprika, and even rice can be targets. So nothing is safe. 5. Crab. Imitation crab is all about mimicking the taste and texture of crab meat, but it's usually made with minced fish, starches, and a limitless variety of additives. Crab sticks, in particular, are a clever invention from Japan. In 1974, Sugio Company introduced the world to kanikama, flaked imitation crab meat. A year later, Osaki Suisan followed suit with the now familiar crab stick format. So, how can you tell the real deal from the imitation? Check the label. Real crab should be labeled clearly. If it says crab sticks or crab with a K, it's likely an imposter. And don't trust the front of the package either. Flip it over and scrutinize the ingredients list. Real crab won't have a laundry list of processed ingredients. 4. Butter. If you're still stuck in the world of butter and its longtime rival margarine, I have news for you. Plant-based butters are here and, well, they taste good. Forget everything you know about butter, churned cream, classic spread, and margarine, vegetable oils, terrible health rep. The plant-based spreads are lactose-free, vegan, and free of those bad-for-you trans fats. Plus, some brands claim they cook and bake just like the real butter, which says a lot. If you ask me, plant-based butters might be the healthier option thanks to the lack of trans fats and potentially less saturated fat. But taste matters too. Luckily, some plant-based options mimic butter incredibly well. The best way to decide? Well, go buy some and give it a try. Still partial Kerrygold, hell yeah. 3. Rice. Plastic rice conspiracy theories have been swirling around the internet for ages, and they just won't die out. Some believers even swear by the water test to sniff out the plastic grains. Yeah, fake rice scandals such as mixing fillers with real rice have happened. Scary, but not plastic nightmares. And the water test? Real rice can float too, so it's unreliable. So, can we toss the plastic rice panic into the recycling bin? Well, ideally yes, but let's face it, the world isn't always sunshine and perfectly regulated food markets. In some places, food safety might be a bit relaxed. Widespread contamination by plastic rice might be unlikely, but it doesn't hurt to be cautious, especially if you're buying from unfamiliar sources. 2. Tea. People have been brewing fake tea for centuries. Back in the day, tea could be anything, from tree leaves mixed with a bit of sheep dung to regular leaves dyed a suspicious shade of green with a chemical called Prussian blue, which wasn't exactly a health tonic. The Victorians freaked out about it, and stricter laws and sciencey ways to sniff out the fakes were born. However, the problem still exists today. Just a few years ago, in 2018, India seized a ton of fake tea dust. And in 2012, China was caught selling already used tea leaves as brand new. Luckily, food safety regulations are getting stricter, making it harder to sneak the bad stuff in. 1. Chocolate. Fake chocolate? Come on, we can handle weird hot dogs, questionable cheese, and fishy crab sticks, but leave the chocolate alone. Unfortunately, fake chocolate is a thing, and it's not going anywhere. The fakers swap in lower grade beans, bulk up the bars with mystery oils, and even slap fake labels on them to trick you. Luckily, science is fighting back. In 2013, scientists figured out a way to fingerprint cocoa beans, which means they can track where the beans come from and expose the imposters. But there's a catch. The testing is expensive, which might mean higher prices down the line. Still, if these tests work, we'll know exactly what we're paying for. No more fake chocolates, because let's be real, messing with chocolate is a crime against humanity. So, what do you think? Is messing with chocolate a crime against humanity? Let me know in the comments. Oh, and hey, if you enjoyed today's video, you will love the one we did a while back on 25 unexpectedly nutritious junk foods. That's right, 25 junk foods that actually have some hidden health benefit.
That is something, isn't it? Are you all still there, sisters? Are you all still there? My comments disappeared. Where are my comments? Can you all hear me? There we go. Wow, it disappeared there for a minute. Awesome. Let me get caught up on. Okay, awesome. Yes. My whole comment box disappeared. So, sisters, oh my gosh, that's a lot of information, wasn't it? Wasn't that a lot of information? How many of you knew about all of these fake foods that we've been dealing with, that we've been exposed to? So we just walked through 10 everyday foods that many people assume are real, plus the 3 videos, but which have quietly been replaced, diluted, or re-engineered. And this is only a glimpse of how far our food system has drifted from the land, the plant, the root, and honestly, the truth of creation. We also watched these really interesting videos, didn't we? Weren't these videos so informative? But awareness is not meant to create fear, right? Awareness is what opens a door back to choice. So now that we know what's out there, now we know to choose something different. We also know how to identify the fake versus the real stuff. So when we know what has been substituted, we can return to the original. When we know what has been altered, we can choose what is living again, not a dead cow. When we know what is imitation, we can reclaim what is real. And this is bigger than the ingredients or the labels. It is an absolute return to design. We have to get back to what is real, sisters, because when the body receives real food, it remembers its wholeness. When the body receives what was grown, not manufactured, it really does exhale. The body, oh my gosh, it's like a breath of fresh air. Your body it's so happy when you feed it good, nutritious food. So when we return to what nourishes, we return to what was always ours, right? This is why the scriptures remind us about the body being a temple, not a place of scarcity, not a place of substitution, but a vessel worthy of what is whole and pure. Real food honors the temple. I mean, we have to have real food because we're real individuals. We're not clones. We are real people. And real people require real food. Real food restores the clarity, your vitality, and your inner equilibrium. We're not just correcting a diet. This isn't about a diet. We're correcting that disconnection because so many of us have been so far removed from what is real that there's now a disconnect. So for generations, our communities were fed substitutes. We know that nutritionally, culturally, and even spiritually. We've been getting a lot of fake stuff, haven't we? We have been living off of so many lies, so many fake stuff. So we thought about all of the other stuff that we found out later on was false, was fake. But who thought that the food would join that list of fake stuff? But as we remember what is real, we begin to reclaim what was displaced. I mean, we are coming into a place now of just total wholeness. We come back into rhythm with our bodies and our belonging. It's so important. Most High is bringing us back. Isn't He bringing us back to wholeness? So as you reflect on what you've learned in this episode, I want you to carry one truth forward. You don't have to fight for healing, nor do you have to ask permission. You just return to it. Just go back to it. Just go back to natural. Go back to real foods. You return by choosing what is whole. You return by choosing what is natural. And you return by choosing what your body recognizes. Your body is going to let you know if you're putting something foreign in it. It's going to act out. It really is. Through sickness, through fatigue, just disease, not feeling well. And sometimes you can't really put your finger on it, but you just know something is not right. So if you're ready to go deeper, I am creating a real food truth guide that you can download. It includes everything we covered today, plus a simple checklist for how to choose the real version of each food and the sources behind every claim. So this is your first step, not just towards healthy eating, but towards reconnection. We have to reconnect with our food, reconnect with our body, reconnect with the original design, the way that the Most High created us originally, authentically. Because when you feed the body truth, the spirit rises to meet it. It's just natural. Your spirit will be so uplifted when we start eating healthy. So sisters, that's tonight's show. That is tonight's show. I hope you all enjoyed the show tonight. Next week's show has yet to be determined. I mean, we went into so many things tonight. So much information. So I hope that you all found this valuable. And if you enjoyed the episode, make sure to subscribe to Tea Time with Shebrews Royalty so you never miss one of our weekly journeys into women's health, wellness, and beauty. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. All right. So, and once again, if you'd like to take a deeper dive into tonight's content, I am creating the Real Food Truth Guide that you can download. It includes everything we covered today, plus a simple checklist for how to choose the real version of each food and the sources behind every claim. So on Tuesday, go to ShebrewRoyalty.com/wellness-blog, where I share all things health and wellness, and download the guide there. So this should be posted, the Most High willing, on Tuesday. Sister Keita said, yes, enjoyed and learned so much. All praises to the Most High, sis. The water, I'm glad to hear that. Also, this channel is not monetized, but if you find the information that is presented on this channel to be useful and valuable to you, please feel free to give a donation to the cause. Nothing is too small, nothing is too great. Shebrews Royalty LLC and Tea Time with Shebrews Royalty are labors of love and appreciation. What I present on this channel and create and offer on ShebrewRoyalty.com comes from a place of love, care, and appreciation for each and every one of you, and also for myself. We appreciate any gift that the Most High puts on your heart to donate. Donations may be sent to $Shebrews Royalty on Cash App. Please be sure to specify donation as the purpose for the transaction. And thank you, Thawada in advance for your generosity. So in conclusion, sisters, let's just continue to grow this channel so that the information can reach Shebrews throughout the four corners of the earth, and even those that are not Shebrews but are willing to be a part of our community. We are to let our light shine so that others can be led to the source of the light. Let's see. I don't want to miss what you all are saying here before I conclude. Put your link to the website in the chat. Let me get that for you. Great show and edification. Oops, that disappeared real quick. And always beautiful, sis. The water, sis. The water, Sister Chin. The water so much. All praises to the Most High. Stay blessed, everyone. Shalom. Yes. Let me put my link in here. Oh, so all along it's been my email that was up there. Here's the link to the website. My email address is on the scroll-in ticker there. So sisters, that is my website address, ShebrewRoyalty.com. The water, sisters. So I love you all and always appreciate you taking time out of your very busy schedule, your very busy week, to have tea and conversation with me, especially on the first night of the week. Thank you so much for your support. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Know that I am praying for you. I'm praying for us. So until the Most High brings us back together again, may you prosper and be in excellent health. And remember, true healing begins inwardly before it is expressed outwardly. Right? I'm your hostess, Kuala Yakaka, a voice of reasoning and justice. The Most High will. We will be back next Sunday, same time, same T channel. So until next time, stay well, stay radiant, stay royal. And as always, this is Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty. Shalom and good night. Shalom. Shalom, Sister Keita. Shalom. You all have a blessed week. And Most High willing, we'll be back next Sunday, same time, same T channel. Shalom, sisters. Ahabatha. Love you all so much. Shalom.